This is HTML basic tag. We are going to teach you how to create a HTML basic tag in HTML document. So the first thing we have to do is let's log into our FTP, because without logging into your FTP or accessing your FTP, you can't have access to view your web page. So that means we are going to create an HTML page. So we will not tell you the code of it. We are going to talk about the HTML basic tag. So all you need to do is log into your FTP, your host, your username. You can get all this information in the email we sent you during the course of your registration. My own username is markets. I've told you that whenever you want to log into your FTP, you have to use the cPanel account detail to log in. My username is markets, and this is my password. But the best thing is for you to use your hand to type it, so that there won't be any mistake. So I will use my hand to type it, so that I don't want to make any mistake. Because sometimes if you copy and paste, you may discover that you just telling me that the password is incorrect. So the best thing is for you to use your hand. So I've told you during the time we are talking about FTP, whenever you want to upload your file, you have to go to, when you log into your FTP, you have to go to your www directory. So anything that any files are inside www directory, then that means you can access it via your web address, via your URL. So right now let's create a new file. Let's call it basic.html. So after it, we create the file basic.html. It's going to bring a text editor that we can use in editing our code. So right now we've created a file named basic.html. So let's start now. The first one thing you have to know about the basic tag, HTML basic tag, is that the basic structure for all HTML documents is simple and should include the following minimum elements. Whenever you are writing any HTML or code, maybe whenever you are writing a page and you are writing a HTML page, a web page, HTML web page, make sure that there are some minimum amount of tags that it must be present, no matter how you want to do it. So the first one is the head tag. This is open tag, closing tag. In HTML, anything that have open tag must have a closing tag. You will discover that the open tag is this of head, and the closing tag, you will discover that the difference between open tag and closing tag is this slash. So what I'm just trying to say is, whenever you want to create it, you discover that what's our file name, basic.html. That means we are creating a HTML file. Whenever you want to create a HTML file, make sure that among the contents that is present in an HTML, there is a way in which you can structure your web page. It must contain some basic minimum elements. So, and those minimum elements that your web page must contain is what? Is the HTML, the h tag, the title tag, and the body tag. So let's start. HTML open tag, HTML closing tag. This tag is just trying to tell us that normally you have seen the name of your page, you have seen it as basic.html, but in the content of basic.html, you have to start with HTML open tag and HTML on closing tag. This is just telling us that the language that we are using in this program is what? Is HTML, hypertext markup language. So any HTML page that you want to create, irrespective of whatever the page is doing, maybe a contact us page, about us page, make sure that you start with what? You start with HTML open tag and HTML closing tag. This is just to tell you that your web page, the language you are using to write this web page is HTML. So the next thing is, one thing I want you to understand is that what you are seeing presently now is a web page. What you are seeing here presently now is a web page. Anything that is between here to here in your browser is what referred to as the head, and anything that is between here to down here is what referred to as the body. So that means HTML page is divided into two. Divided into what? The head and the what, and the body. So that means your HTML now, we have what, we have head, open tag, sorry, head, closing tag. This is the head. From here to here, from here to here, look at the mouse, from here to here is the head, and from here to your down is what we refer to as the body. So HTML is divided into what, is divided into the head and what, body opening tag and body closing tag. So anything that you see in your web document, anything that you see that is written between this place to this place, it means that that thing is present inside what, is present inside body, is present inside body tag. And anything that is you see from here to this place, that means that thing is present inside what, inside the head tag. Let's do an example. Let's just write something here. Let's save our page. So let's open our web page. This is my site. This is my site name. Then what's the name of the page? Basic.html. Basic.html. You can get your URL when you log into your Ewebtutor account. So if I click enter now, you will discover that what we're using now, can you see? So it's the same content that I place here. Let me go back to edit basic.html. So the content you are seeing here now is you are seeing it here because I what? Because I place it inside the what? The body tag. So what I'm trying to say is that anything that shows here is, it means what? Is placed inside the body tag. But now I've told you that from here to here, this distance now, anything that you see around this place is what referred to as what? The web title. As in, sorry, is what referred to as what? Is inside the head tag. Anything that you see from here to here is inside the what? The head tag. So you may be wondering that under the head tag now, whenever you visit a web page, you will see something that they will write here. Look at this one now. They say Ewebtutor/free online FTP. Gmail, Ewebtutor, welcome. Can you see? All these things are all referred to as the web what? The web title. We call it web title, and is found in between what? In between what tag? Is it in the body tag or the head tag? Is found in between the what? The head tag. So that means if you want to change this thing that you are seeing here, if you want to change this display in the title, then you have to go to your head tag, and then you will type the title tag, then the closing tag of title. So that means in between the head, you have the word, you have the title. So whatever I now put here, I can say my first basic page. Let's save this. So let me refresh my web page. I've told you, for you to see the changes that you just saved, you have to refresh it. Can you see? My first basic page. So you just have to understand all about syntax, all about tag. Normally I told you that whenever you want to start a language, now the name of our file is basic.html. That means we are using HTML language. So the content of this thing must start with what? The name, the open tag of the language and the closing tag of the language. The language that we want to use is HTML, so it starts with HTML and it closes with HTML. And any HTML web page is divided into what? The head and the what? And the body. So anything that you see that shows from this place to this place is from the body, is in the body. And anything that shows from here to here is within the head. And right now all these things now, it shows within the head. And the name of the tag to display this thing is title, and you must place it in between the head. You must place it in between what? In between the head. So that's just about the basic HTML structure. So let's run this particular example now. Let's run this particular example. Look at it, this time around did not start with HTML, but I've told you that the minimum, you may start with HTML, the name of the language, but note you've already saved basic.html. Then your browser already know that this is an HTML page. So whether you start with HTML open tag and HTML closing tag, it does not matter. But you just have to know one thing. You have to know is necessary. Please make sure that anytime you are writing an HTML page, make sure that you start with the HTML open tag and the HTML closing tag. Then later the head and the what and the body. But this time in this example now is only the head. And under this head, open tag and closing tag, you have the what? The title. So if we save this page now, here now, by the time we run this page, what are you going to see? You are going to see HTML basic tag here, because that is what they give it in between the title. So all these other things also is within the what? Within the head. But when we talk about the meta name, I will still explain what a meta name in the next course. I'm going to explain to you what a meta tag means. I've told you anything you see here. This is head tag, this is title tag, this is medical tag, this is link tag, this is script tag. So, but there's another tag we called meta tag. After title, we also use meta tag in between the head tag. It's not only title tag that you can use in between the head tag. You can also use meta tag. But in the previous courses, we are going to explain to you what we refer as meta tag. But just note, anything meta tag is used by search engines. You can see now, like right now, they said meta. What's the name of the meta? They said keyword HTML web page. So that means if I put my meta name as my meta content as HTML web pages, anytime someone searches HTML web pages in Google, automatically my site will be among the site that is going to display. Why? Because when I was creating my HTML head, I included what? The meta tag there. So whatever I place in the contents, if I play HTML web page, if anybody, any user in the world searches Google, searches web page or HTML web page in Google, automatically my site will be among the sites that is going to display. So that's just it. But we are still going to talk more about meta tag during the course of the next course. So that's just one thing about. So apart from the title tag, we also use the meta tag inside the head tag. But those are this meta tag, they are not going to display. You can't see them displaying. But when somebody, that doesn't mean that they are not useful. But the only thing, where they come to useful, where they come important to use is when you are searching an information in all these search engine like Google, Yahoo, Ask.com, when you are searching information. So that's where all the meta tag, that's where they come. Another thing that we have is the link tag. Later in the next course also, we are going to explain to you what a link tag and the script tag. We are going to explain all this. But just know, for the course of this tutorial, the only thing we want you to know right now in HTML is how to use title tag inside the head tag. So right now, if I save this file now, automatically I will see HTML basic tag as my web title. So that's just about on that. I've already explained. So for the case of theory, please just go through. For the case of theory, just go through the contents, HTML basic tag PDF file. So just go through the content so that you have much knowledge about what we are trying to talk about. But just know, when we are talking about HTML, whenever you create a page, basic.html or any other page that you created, the first thing that we have to do is you have to open the name of the language, which is HTML. Then you have to close the name of the language. Then every HTML page is divided into what? The head and the what? Open tag head and closing tag head. The head and the what? And the body. The head and start with the body. and the body. So just know, so whatever you want to put that you want your user to be able to see in your web page, here maybe around this side, then you have to place them inside what? The body. And whatever you want the user to see up here, but the only thing that will be visible to your user visiting your web page is the web title. So that means under the header is only the title that is important, that your user are going to that is visible to your user, your site user. Apart from web title, under the head tag, there is no other thing that is visible to your site user, because if you don't use the web tag, you can use the title. Another tag that you can also use in the head tag is maybe the meta tag or the link tag or the script tag, but all those ones are not visible to your site user. So those ones are applicable. They are in use when somebody is trying to search information in all this search engine. So that's when it's display or your site will display depending on the meta content that you place there. So that's just what we are trying to talk about. So the example of the meta tag example is just this. So if I use meta tag, I've told you that apart from the title tag, another tag that they use inside the head tag is the meta tag. But right now, if I use the meta tag now, content HTML meta tag metadata, whenever somebody search metadata on Google, automatically my web page, this web page I'm creating, basic.html, is going to display among the pages that will be displayed. So that means whenever you are creating a web page and you want people to be able to, you want your web page to be able to be visible in all this search engine, then that means you have to put a meta tag inside your head tag, and the content will be the name. Let's say for example that your web page is all about scholarship, then you can place something like scholarship in England inside the meta content. You can see this is a meta tag, and these are an attribute contents. So I place scholarship in England. So if somebody search scholarship in Europe, your site will not come up. So but when somebody search scholarship in England in Google or any other search engine, your site is going to come up. Why? Because inside your header, your head tag, you place a meta tag there. So that's just about the meta tag. Another thing that we have is the document description. It works exactly like the keyword. So the document description, this is again important information, and many search engine uses this information. It's also useful by search engine. They make use of it whenever they are searching for an information. Maybe whenever your user is searching information and maybe Google is trying to bring out that information, then they are going to look for all the sites that has that kind of information the user is trying to search. But how Google know? Google is going to be searching all the meta tag of all the sites, and they will now be everyone that is similar to the information that the user search, and they are going to display it as a result. So that's just another thing that you have to know. So another thing that we have under the head tag is the meta, is also meta tag, but this time around is talking about the document revision date. So right now, let's copy this now and let me explain what we mean by this. You can see that this is a meta tag, but under this meta tag there is an attribute name, and the name has a value of revise. Revise means, for example, now there are some times that you will search Google and maybe a site is displayed, and when the site is displayed, Google will now write to you that this site is updated in 1990. They will tell you the specific date that they update the site last. So if you want to do something like that Google will be able to have information about when you update your site last, then you make use of the word, the meta tag name revised, then the name of your site, comma, and the date in this format, the date you update the site, you revise the site last, and it's going to be here. So just note one thing: all this information is not visible to your site user, but search engine, they make use of this information. So but if you don't want search engine to have information about the day you revise your site, what your site description, that is when you use meta name, when you use description, the previous example that we did. So if you don't want all the search engine to know your site description, then the best thing is don't use any meta tag. But if you want them to have your information, and it's good, because many search engine, by the time somebody search for an information, all they do is they go to the head of every web page. They will now be searching it one by one. So they will now be bringing any web page that corresponds to what the user is searching. They will just be bringing it out. So that's wow. So in the case of theory, please, you can just go through the content in this PDF so that you have much knowledge about what we are trying to talk about. Another thing that we have is the document is a page redirection. You will see what we mean by page redirection now. So it's also a tag. So by this time around, we are using the meta http equals refresh 10 seconds URL. What we mean by this is this. Normally this is my web page. The name of my page is what? Is basic.html. But if I use this now, by the time I run this web page basic.html, it's going to wait for 10 seconds. After 10 seconds, it's going to redirect me to what? This website, www.ewebtutor.com. So let's try this. Let's save this web page. So let me refresh this one so that I will see my changes. Can you see? You will discover that it will be counting. When it's up to 10 seconds like this, you will see it's redirecting. It's not up to 10, but when immediately it gets to 10, can you see? It's already redirecting. So, and this is what all these downloading sites, this is what they do. When you click on download now, automatically it will not tell you that your download will start in 10 seconds. Immediately that 10 seconds, automatically you will now see that, you now discover that web page will now be refreshed. It will now go to another page where you will now have access to your download. So that is what almost all downloading websites, that's what they do. They will not want you to download that file directly. They will first want to display something that is very user friendly, like telling you that your download will start in 5 seconds, 4 seconds, 3 seconds. They will first, so after that time they will now redirect to the normal page you want to download. It's something that they can go directly to the page that they want you to download from, but they will not just want to do that. They will first ask you to click on the download, then later it will refresh. So what I'm trying to say is that whenever you want to create a redirection, you want something to redirect a page, when user click on it, maybe when you visit a page, maybe they visit or maybe a user visit your web page now, basic.html, and you want to see sure by when they visit it by 20 seconds, you want it to go to google.com. All you need to do is you have to come to HTML and use this code refresh. The only thing you edit is this, the time. You can edit it to 20 seconds, or maybe you can edit it to 1 minute. The URL, which URL should it go after it redirect? I can say it should go to gmail.com. So that means if I save this file and I refresh my web page now, all I will discover is by the time this page, by the time you get to 60 seconds, which is 1 minute, automatically it's going to go itself. It's going to redirect to gmail.com without anybody clicking on anything. They don't need to click on anything. And this is what almost all the download website, this is what they do. So that's just about the direction. So another thing that we have is the cookies. Setting cookies. You can use meta tag to store cookies on client side. Later, information can be used by the web server to track a site visitor. You will discover that when you log into your Gmail account, this is my Gmail account now. If you close this page now and you went out, later you run your system and you go to gmail.com, you discover that it will not take you to where you have to log in again. It won't take you there. it will just open your profile page directly. Why? Because during the time that you are on the system, you did not sign out. As soon as you have signed out now, you are trying to go back to gmail.com, it will direct you to the login page. But since you have not signed out, it's going to take you to your profile page. And what happened? What causes that is because of cookies, and that is why it's good for you to set cookies in your site, so that some information about your site is going to be stored on your system. So when it's stored on your system, so by the time you are going back to their site, you don't need to supply those information again, because this information is already present on your system. Then it's just going to log you in automatically. Until you sign out, that is when the cookies, that, or as in cookies means something that stores something, that is when it's being destroyed, so that you'll be able to log in again next time you are coming. But as soon as I log into my Gmail account now and I did not sign out, I just close my browser. The fact that I close my browser does not mean that I have signed out. So by the time I come back later, since when I logged in the first time, my cookies was saved, and I have not logged out to destroy those cookies. The cookies is still there. So by the time I try to go back to gmail.com, it will not take me to the login page. It will just take me directly to my profile page, because the cookies is still active. So that's just about cookies, and you have to set the cookies and see what happens now. Yeah, now this is what they use to set cookies. They set cookie. What is the name of the cookies? User ID. And what is the detail? This is the user ID. You can set user password. You can say user password equals to a password 123456. And when they say it should expire, where is the 08 August? This is when they ask you to expire. So that means you can also set expiring date for your cookies. Whether or not the person click on log out, that expiring date will still expire. It will still expire that date. So, and that is what happened in Gmail. Even though you did not log out and you go for some time, like a month, by the time you come back, even though when you use your system last you did not log out, it's still not going to take you to. It's not going to take you to the profile page. It's still going to take you to the login page. Why? And you may be wondering that I did not log out now. Why is it not taking me back to login page? It's just because of they've set a expiring date for that cookies. So whether or not you log out or you didn't log out, once that expiring date reaches, automatically the cookies is going to be destroyed. But all these things we are still going to talk about it. So I'm just trying to explain to you all these simple tags that we make use of in HTML. But because of this tutorial, you can just go through the PDF so that you understand the theoretical knowledge about how we are trying to explain. So another thing is the author name. So this another thing is this author name. Now you can see that this meta tag now is very wide. Meta tag, but the name is author. We have the description, the HTTP when you are trying to redirect. We have the author, we have the title. Meta tag is very wide, but just know the only visible meta tag, the only visible tag under the head tag is what is the title tag. Every other tag that is inside the head tag is not visible. So anything meta tag is not visible to your site user, but that there are informations that they are the informations that on the search engine make use of. So what I'm trying to say is this: like now, when you maybe in Google now, you now start that who is the author of Facebook.com, automatically you are going to see the name of Mark Zuckerberg. Why? Because of when they are creating Facebook page, they've set the author, they've set the author name. So you also make use of the meta tag to set the author name. Then under the meta tag, you just say name author. Then under the content, the name of that author will be there. So right now, if I say author content Manas Motazin, so if I place this there now and somebody went ahead to search for author of Ewebtutor, as in to search for author of basic.html, this page that I created, basic.html, if somebody went to Google to search for the author, and if I have placed or if I have set the author name inside the page that the person is searching for, automatically it's just going to display this name. It's going to display my name so that people will know that I'm the one that author that particular page. So, and this is just good in case you are creating a content management system, so that, and there are a lot of users that is posting information for you. Maybe you have a lot of moderators that is trying to post a lot of information for you. So what you just do is you are going to be setting their author name, so that by the time somebody look at in the search engine, by the time somebody saw a content, or saw maybe a PDF or a write-up, and they will be able to know that this write-up is written by this so author. So that's just setting the author name. So another thing that we have is the HTML attributes. I've told you there are various type of tags. We have various type of tags, thousands of tags, HTML tags, but every tags always have an attribute. Like all these tags that we have mentioned now, like all these meta tag has an attribute. Part of the attribute of meta tag is what? HTTP equals and the URL. So meta tag has an attribute of this and this. So a lot of tag have an attribute. Let's say for example now I'm trying to, under the heading I want to write I go there. Let's say I write I go there, and I want to give this a color. All I need to do is, what's the tag for color? Is font. So it will have an attribute of what? Attribute of color. And what's the name of the color? Let me say red. So but note, the name of this tag is font, but this font has a property. And what's the property? Color. So this color is what referred to as what? Attribute. And every attribute is always equals to a value. So this attribute now, color now, it has a value of what? Of red. So that means the color of this scene will be red. But note, whenever I told you that anything that has an opening tag must have what? Closing tag. What is the tag here now? The tag is what? Fonts. So when you are closing, you only close what? You only close fonts. Because color is not a tag. Color is just an attribute in this tag fonts. So font itself is a opening tag, and the closing tag is what? This. So let me save this and refresh my web page. Let me delete this redirection so that my page won't have to be redirecting every time. Sorry. So let me just try to remove this redirection and save my page so that my page won't have to be redirecting every time. So let me go back to my website, my page, basic.html. Look at it now. I go there. Can you see the color? The color is what? Is red. So if I want to give this, I go there, a size. Maybe I want to increase the size. It's in default size. That's why you see this size. But if I want to increase the size, I will now ask myself that what is the syntax to increase size? It's also fonts, and I can't have two fonts inside this thing. So I will now ask myself that it's also font. But what is the attribute of size? I will now say size. So that means a single tag can have 100 of attributes. Size is what? I can also say size is 60. So the tag is font and you close the font, but there are two attributes, what? Color and what? And size. Color and what? And size. Can you see? It's increased. So that is just about attributes. So an attribute is used to define the characteristics of an element. So the tag that we have here is fonts, but to define the characteristics, we have a characteristic of this font. We have the color. Then you can place here the name of any color you want to use. We have the size. You can place here the size you want to use. So an example is this now. So another attribute that we have for font is face. Face is just trying to tell you about the font face, like Area Black, Monotype, Cursiva, all these fonts that you make use of when you are working with Microsoft Word. All these fonts, Area Black, Area cursiva, all those fonts. So you can place them here if you know the fonts. But look at it here, color. In my own color I use red. So another way, you can also use hexadecimal color. But all this I'm still going to make it available for you. So like hexadecimal color, if I use FFFFF 6F now, if I use, instead of, I can decide to say color white. So instead of saying white, I can decide to say ash 6F. It means white. If I use ash 60, it means black. So instead of using black, red, green, blue, you can find their equivalent hexadecimal color. So another way that you can find out hexadecimal color of any another way you can find hexadecimal color equivalent of any color is searching Google. I can say hexadecimal color for red. Let me say hexadecimal color for red. Can you see? This is red. Hexadecimal color for red is what? FF. Can you see? Hash FF. So let me just, instead of this now, let me use this. So this is the hexadecimal color for red. Is it? So let me refresh my page. You still discover that the color will still be red. So instead of using red, I can use the hexadecimal equivalent color, which will still give me red color. So but if I were you, instead of searching each color in Google, I would just say HTML hexadecimal color. I would just say HTML hexadecimal color. So I will have all the lists. Can you see? So here now, let me just open this. Let me open this page and this page. So here now I will be able to have lists. Can you see? This is black. I've taught you about black. FFFFF is white. This is white. So these are the different hexadecimal color for different colors. These are the hexadecimal equivalent color for different colors. So we have 16 million different colors. 16 million. So there are a lot of colors. So these are the hexadecimal equivalent colors. So in case you don't know, look at this table now. In case you don't know the color you want to use, you know maybe it's red, you know it's blue, you know it's maybe it's green, all you just need to do is come here and look for the color here. If you see the color, let's say this is the color you want to use, just copy this code, but note it has to start with ash. So when you are placing it has to start with ash, and the 6-digit code will be there. So that's just about it. So but there are 4 types of core attributes. We have the ID, the title, the class, and the style. But for this case of this tutorial, normally it is very important for us to know this when we are dealing with HTML. But by the time we get to CSS, you will be able to understand the advanced knowledge about these 4 attributes. We call them the 4 core attributes. So they are very, very important: the ID, the title, the class, and the style. But you can't do it, you can't use it except you understand what we refer to as CSS. So right now, for the course of this tutorial, we are still going to paint the 4 core attributes. We are going to paint it right now for this case of this tutorial, so that by the time we finish CSS, during the time of CSS, then we are still going to teach you. So even if we touch you now, then when we get to CSS, we are still going to teach you again. So the best thing is for us to just keep this part, so that by the time we get to CSS, we'll be able to explain to you what the core attributes, what they are for the ID, the title, the style. So that's just the so for the case of the tutorial. So thank you so much for being there. So for the case of theory, please just go through this PDF so that you have a the advanced knowledge of all we are trying to talk about. So thank you.